Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Gemini. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Geminis, please. All right, so we have the Page of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Ooh, they're also showing up as the Queen of Swords, so strong air in their chart, or they embody this this energy. They're viewing you as the Eight of Wands, and the connection, we see the Judgment card. All right, so we do see this could be a connection that up levels or, you know, becomes something real, a higher level love. And we see the Eight of Swords. Okay, so you have somebody here who is maybe a little bit of an overthinker, someone who may be a little bit pessimistic when it comes to love. Now, I do want you to pay attention to eights coming through here with this person. It's a beautiful number of abundance and ascension. But the Page of Swords tells me that this is somebody who definitely does their homework before they invest in someone. They may have a little bit of a nervous disposition, or they just might be really in their head about you. You know, like can't stop thinking about you, Gemini. But it's I have a feeling you're going to have a hard time recognizing that, because the Queen of Swords, she can be a little bit stoic. You know, she's extremely well put together. She's elegant. You know, she probably smells nice, dresses well, but maybe a little bit of the serious type here, of course, until you get to know them. All right, and we see the Page of Swords in reverse, so this is definitely somebody who's spying on you. And we see the Devil energy. Now, Gemini, this might be somebody here who's low-key obsessed with you. There's a really strong physical attraction here. But this Capricorn energy also tells me that this is somebody who's very pragmatic, hardworking, and wise. And the Knight of Wands in reverse, you might meet this person, Gemini, and you might not be super confident about this connection because you might have a hard time reading this person, or you might wonder, are we compatible? Is this person too serious? Or you might just meet this person at a time when you have a lot of different options available to you and you're enjoying the single life. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else we need to know about this person. All right, so we do see that there's an intensity here to them. The depth of their thoughts and emotions indicate a high intellect and a strong focus on their subject. We do see they have strong fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right, we see mourning, so they've experienced loss and they're in a period of recovery. Again, that would probably speak to, you know, why they're a bit hesitant, why they're a bit nervous. Now, this person could be a widow or a widower, or they could be somebody here that's just mourning the loss of a relationship, or the loss of a loved one even. All right, and we get Aquarius energy. I'm not surprised because we get that really strong air coming through. So a highly developed intellect. This sign is the pioneer of ideas. They're engaging communicators. Now, with the Queen of Swords, like I said, this is somebody who is probably has a bit of a serious exterior, somebody who's intelligent, but somebody who's in alignment, somebody who definitely doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve. And again, you might have a hard time reading this person a little bit. They enjoy tarot. All right, they may be in their 20s. Now, that's not for all of you. It may be for some of you, but these really specific messages are going to be confirmation messages for some, and they won't resonate with all of you. But, you know, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And we see, ooh, there's an element of mystery about this person. So you are going to recognize, even though that they might come off as serious and intellectual, like there's just a little bit of that je ne sais quoi about this person. There's that little something, something special. All right. So let's see what else we need to know about them. What else do we need to know about them? All right, so we see message energy. or the message card coming through. So this is somebody here who I do feel like they're definitely going to have to work up strength and courage to like send you that message or to tell you how they feel. And they're going to be noticing a lot about you before they do that, or gathering a lot of information before they actually do that. The bad health card is coming through. Some of you, this person has had a major health scare or a near-death experience. Some of you, this person was a caregiver to someone, okay, that may have passed away. So again, they could be a widow or a widower. It could be like a family member here, because we do get that mourning energy. But I actually think this person is somebody who takes their health and their wellness quite seriously. All right, and yeah, again, they might act unbothered here, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. They do have a little bit of that underlying anxiety, which I do think they might mask quite well, but it might come off as, you know, as them being a bit more serious. All right. But I don't think that's always the case. Like, I feel like Gemini, you're going to, you know, when you get to know this person, you're going to see that they may be very different than you're imagining. All right. So let's see what else we need to know. All right. Yeah. See, they've been extremely hurt by a loved one in the past. This could be betrayal, but it could also be that this person is in mourning. Okay. Or they've experienced loss. They spend their money quickly. All right. They may have a pet. All right, and we see they can speak more than one language fluently. Again, a really specific message that's not going to be for all of you, but it will be confirmation for some of you. And I do see that this person is physically active. Again, if they've had some sort of health scare, you know, like I feel like they take their health really seriously, or if they've watched people around them suffer from their health, I feel like they're very health conscious because of that. Now, physically active can also indicate for me as a reader that this person, you know, may have a physically demanding job, or they like to work out, or they're always kind of on the move. All right, so we see the Eight of Wands. Now, this is beautiful energy because Gemini, this is telling me that they have a lot of focused intention on you. And that you are exactly what they've been waiting for, what they've been trying to manifest. All right. And they also see you as someone who can handle a lot and make it look easy. All right. The Ace of Cups. Yeah. They love you for your big heart, Gemini. They see so much potential for love here with you. And the King of Wands. Wow. They're very attracted to you, Aries, Leo, Sag energy. They see you as somebody who gets a lot of attention. You're somebody who's successful, somebody who has a lot to offer, somebody who also takes good care of themselves. All right, I feel like you and this person are going to have similar lifestyles, whatever those lifestyles may be. And Gemini's Hermit energy, Virgo energy. So you are going to be like, you know, you're going to take some time to figure out if this is the right connection or not. Like I said, you might meet this person at a time when you're enjoying the single life, or you have a bunch of options available to you. You may not be super confident about this connection. But I also feel like with the Hermit card, like this is you meeting this person at a time when you're feeling quite good about just being on your own. You know, you've reached a place where, like, you know, you don't really need anyone. You might not even really be looking for love. So there may be an element of surprise or serendipity in how you two meet. All right, let's see what they notice about you or they really like about you, Gemini. All right, we see the slave archetype coming through, which tells me that surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So I love this because, you know, they see you as somebody who's not afraid to make your own choices, but you're also not afraid to live with the consequences of those choices. But there's like a confidence in that, right? Like, even if I make the wrong choice, I'll be okay, or I'll figure it out, or Spirit's got my back. You know, not everybody lives their life that way, Gemini. And they see you as the Queen archetype, so radiates the regal feminine and uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So again, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But this person sees you as somebody who's humble, you know, somebody who is benevolent and kind, somebody who is also forgiving, but I'm also getting somebody who allows for their partner or the people around them, their family members or their, you know, coworkers, or, you know, the people that you're in charge of. For example, like, you allow people creative freedom, you allow people to be who they are, you know, without trying to be controlling or too demanding, but really confident in, all in the same. So with the Judgment card, I do feel there is an element of serendipity that's going to be bringing you two together. I also think there's a lot of potential with this Aries Scorpio energy for this to be a connection that up levels. All right, so we see reclaiming emotional agency. This connection reminds you that choice remains yours. All right, and yeah, and I feel like you may meet this person at a time when you're reclaiming emotional agency, where you were choosing to be single. And so it's like this is going to have to be someone really special coming your way. All right, I love this. We have somebody emotionally intelligent here. This person understands their feelings and communicates with awareness. They respond rather than react. So again, this is going to be somebody who can really anchor you, Gemini, somebody you respect, somebody who's not emotionally immature, okay, somebody who's not reactive. And again, we kind of get this, non-reactive energy that might be a little bit hard to read at first, but I feel like in the long term, it's exactly what you want in a partner. Somebody who's very grounding, somebody that you can, that you can trust to act right too. All right, and we see mutual recognition. This connection holds the potential for shared awareness and understanding. Okay, beautiful. So yeah, I mean, it's like, I just feel like, there's going to be a beautiful give and take here. And you both, I just see this beautiful balance in this connection. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. All right, we see responsibilities. So romance interrupted, duties come first. So some of you work could get in the way, whether it's one or both of you traveling, having high work hours, or being co-workers or something. Spirit saying don't judge a book by its cover, Gemini. Open your heart to this connection. And at the bottom of the deck, we do get time apart, so time of separation. So some of you, there may be, there may be distance here, or someone here might travel for work, or maybe have really high work hours or something that could cause a little bit of delays and frustrations within this connection. Some of you also the connection might be a little bit delayed from coming forward. All right, so let's see. Spirit saying it will be for the coming years, though. So this is meant to be a long-term connection, and you will hear news soon. Okay, some of you, this person might be at a distance. I just got somebody, I don't know if somebody's in the military or something like that, or somebody's working overseas or traveling. I don't know, that's not for all of you, but it's definitely a message that's come through more than once in this reading. All right, my lovely Geminis, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.